back again with another exciting video. Here to bring you that motivation and inspiration. Today I want to talk about breakup spells. Breakup spells can be done in many ways. What I know of breakup spells is this. Is that it is mainly an energy that's surrounding two people. It all depends on what you make it. Everybody got their own form of recipes for a breakup spell. The most common is jar. Each jar varies by the practitioner's hand. The thing about those things is that they can easily backfire. Because when you understand the concept of a jar, the jar represents the universe. What you add into there are things that you're adding into the person's life, and those things which we have the physical counterpart for has a spiritual counterpart, and those unseen parts affect the person that's in that particular jar. But again, there's many ways to do breakup spells, there's many ways to do it, but again, the most common is the jar. Again, about jar work, breakup spells, everything has to be harmonious. You can't just basically do work like that without having some type of, let's just say some type of I wouldn't even say some type of guidance and agreement. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you work with has to be in agreement with one another. If you're an experienced palero, you know what I'm talking about. When you make your what do they call it? Your cauldrons, your spiritual cauldrons, whatsoever, you know what I'm saying? All the ingredients in that cauldron, all the things that you have, whether it's a stone, whatever, all those things are harmoniously put together. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have a harmonious pot, it's going to backfire on you. Same thing with working with breakup spells. You know what I'm saying? Breakup spells, if what you're doing, all it takes is one ingredient to fuck the whole job up. You may be thinking that, you're doing something right, you know what I'm saying? And, because you basically read something out of a book, and all of a sudden the whole shit backfires on you. See, it all depends on what you're using too. Because, when you're coming from my path, a Bokor path, I'm going to mix up a bunch of stuff in there. And best believe that's going to have the spirits of the dead working with it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to have a lot of that working with it. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, you got to know what you're doing. You just can't be no one that, just read a couple of books and you watch a couple of videos and stuff like that, and, you think you're going to do it. Because again, learning how to speak the spiritual language is a very, it's a very complex science. And the spirit of what you're working with, the elements, have to communicate with you to know what's capable of working with one another. Now, if you don't know that language, you're going to hurt yourself, So again, I speak from an experience level. If you are a palero, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's a complex science. A lot of people, they come from the hoodoo path and they think that's just the way. Nah, man. When you do further investigation and you have further understanding of things, then you begin to understand the mechanics behind what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But breakup spells, they definitely, again, there's many ways to do it, and that determines the time frame that you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? But in common thought, what people usually, what I've heard, and what I've seen myself from my experience, breakup spells can go anywhere from 3 to 6 months and maybe a little bit more. That all depends, you know what I'm saying? It all depends on the situation, how the people came separated, how, what brought them apart, you know what I'm saying? It all depends on that, to gauge a situation. That's how I do it. Everyone is different, when it comes to, this type of workings itself, but you got to be careful. You got to be careful, you know what I'm saying? Because some people like to spice their shit up, man. Spice their shit up, but keep in mind this. The more you spice that job up, the more you're rendering yourself in a situation that something can actually harm you for the worse and badly if you don't do it right. So with that said, I don't want to talk too much more. Hopefully, I hope this video is informative. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm out.